What's up, Leafs Nation? Welcome back to another game preview. I'm Zack Phillips, and today we're going to be taking a look at game number 24 of the Toronto Maple Leafs regular season. Yes, another game, another Amazon Prime night. Louder volume, louder mics, whatever it is, the conspiracy going on here in Toronto will maybe be put to the test here as Connor Bedard comes to town to take on the Maple Leafs. And as we get into today's game preview, look at the lines, give out our best bet. Just a reminder, this is a presentation of Bet365, proud partner of the Leafs Nation pregame and the Leafs Nation After Dark. Make sure to sign up over at Bet365, open an account today, and bet on a huge range of markets. Use code NATION, N-A-T-I-O-N. That's code NATION, N-A-T-I-O-N. All caps. Whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365. All right, let's get right to it, not waste any time here today. I want to jump into the game, look at some stuff, and then I have some exciting, fun best bets that I think you guys are actually going to agree with. I put these best bets in. Sometimes people are like, look at this idiot. What is he doing? Why is this his bet? I think today you're going to look and go, yep, that makes sense. And a lot of you might have say, I already bet that one, or I was already thinking that. So we'll get to that in a little bit, but first, we obviously have to go to our lineup for tonight. What do we got from the Toronto Maple Leafs here? And really, it's nothing that we've seen any different. So starting over at Daily Faceoff, we're going to see first line, Nyes, Matthews, Nylander. Look, I liked what they did the other night. Quite frankly, I liked how they played against Tampa. I feel like the more they play together, the better the chemistry will be. But in all honesty, it feels a little bit Globetrotter-esque when they're out there. They're able to maintain a cycle, offensive zone game. They move the puck incredibly well. I was worried Willie was going to be deferring too much when we know he's a guy who can score, or Matthews is going to be deferring because, you know, Willie's a guy who can score and Matthews is a guy who can score. You don't want to take away from each of their individual powers necessarily. It didn't really feel like they did that too much the other night. It was a distribution of wealth, and they were just so damn good when they were on the ice. It looked like they were a little bit hard to keep up with. Nyes obviously is kind of the X factor on that line, which surprisingly enough, when the other guys are making what they're making, but Nyes is just able to do things that those guys can't and create incredible amounts of pressure and problems for the other team. Line 2, Holmberg, Tavares, Marner. Tavares and Marner loved the way both of them played in the game the other day. Both of them have honestly been incredible. I'm not really the biggest fan of Pontus Holmberg as of now. I do like him, and I like what he's done previously. The last little while, he has left a lot to be desired, and I thought maybe a game with Tavares and Marner would change things for me and would bring him up a level, and it just didn't. I watched that game against Tampa, and it was like, I want more, I want more, I want more, and we just never got it. He was always kind of felt like that mental or physical step behind in a lot of instances, and they were able to get around it. It wasn't a hindrance to them, but he added nothing to bring positively to that line. At this point, in my mind, it's almost set. This is who he is, and that's it. I'm hoping that this can change. You're going to get another opportunity to go with these guys here tonight. Show me why this is different, why you deserve that spot in that lineup on a nightly basis. I'm not even just talking about on the second line. Show me what you can do here at all, because when guys come back healthy, people have to go. People have to be moved. And if you're making certain amounts of money, you might be a bit more of an expendable piece. Nick Robertson, Fraser Minton, Steven Lorentz on the third line. Nicky Bobby gets himself off the schneid the other day with a beautiful goal. Hey, I mean, I say it here a lot, and you guys probably hate me for saying, see if you can continue, but let's see if you can continue. I mean, you score finally your second goal of the season. We had the Golden Muzzy tweeting out saying, hey, Timothy Liljegren's got more goals than this guy. Like, there was pressure on, and finally he delivers in a big game against a good goaltender and a disgusting goal. But are you able to roll that over from one game to the next, or was that a flash in the pan? I don't want it to be just a one-off. I want to see what he can do tonight, and then on Wednesday night, and then on Friday night, and then. Do this more frequently. Don't just let that be a one-time thing. Minton, Lorentz, we know what we're getting from Lorentz. Minton, I've been pretty impressed with so far. A lot of it has just been I was monitoring closely the level of maturity, how he's going to handle all of these situations, being in the NHL, the travel spot, Florida, Tampa. How is he going to manage that? Seems like he's done pretty good so far. I mean, it's not like traveling in the NHL is the hardest thing ever on you physically and mentally, but it is different. So he's handled it well. Fourth line, Gurbenkin, Dewar, Nylander. Just Gurbenkin and Dewar, excuse me. I don't have too much to say on them. I love the way Gurbenkin plays. I feel like this is maybe one where, hey, he might get off the schneid and score his first NHL goal or point here tonight just because he's like a chaotic type of guy and he's always around it. Dewar, we know who he is. He's reliable, defensive, nothing too much. Alex Nylander, I feel like he's a guy I'm going to be looking to here tonight and saying, hey, you got to be better. You're getting a shot here in the NHL, and I saw a comment in the live stream the other day, like in the post-game show, and someone said he's the perfect tweener, or like the perfect example of a tweener, and he is. He's probably too good to be in the AHL, like just every day, right? He's just above that. He can kind of dominate it, but is he good enough to be in the NHL every day on a serious team? Yeah, he went to Columbus last year, and Columbus is a different situation this year, but last year they're not very good. He goes there, and all of a sudden he lights it up. But that's not a very good team. You're going to get higher up minutes and spots, and you are a pretty good player. It's just a consistency thing and a maturity thing. Are you going to be able to figure it out every day to be an everyday NHLer? I don't think he's been that great over this sample size we have. The first game, he was fine. Then it just kind of turned into like, okay, he's just kind of here. And then there was a couple of really bad moments from him. Let's just call it what it is. So how are you going to show up here tonight? That's kind of what I'm looking for. But outside of that, there's no real changes that we're seeing for these guys in the lineup entirely. You go to defensively, though, there are some switch-ups, and this is obviously going to come due to Jake McCabe not being in this lineup here. Berube said he didn't expect him to miss too much time. I feel like he's probably not really that hurt, but, I mean, even just think about this at surface level, right? If you get hit in the back of the head with no helmet protection with a puck, at some point that's probably going to swell and potentially you can't get your helmet on. Like, that's pretty uncomfortable, and we don't need Jake McCabe to play. Like, we're not desperate for points and wins here, and it's game 24. Like, this is not game 81 or game 83 into the playoffs. Like, this is not that, so who cares, dude? Rest. Put the frozen peas on the back of your head, get that thing down, take some Tylenol, and we all move on and call it a day. Jake McCabe does not play, which means that we're going to get a little bit of a change here, and that would include Philippe Myers coming into this lineup. So right now on Daily Faceoff, we got Morgan Rielly, Philippe Myers, Oliver Ekman-Larsson, Chris Tanev as your second pair, and then Benoit Timmins. Look, OEL and Tanev were great together previously. Benoit and Timmins have been good together recently. Morgan Rielly, very good with Tanev, very good with OEL. Not so great with Hakanpää. This first pair scares me a bit with him and Myers. I wouldn't be shocked if this changed rather quickly, but that's what we've got for our lineup here tonight. Power play does not change. 5-man, 5-forward unit up front. Nyes, Tavares, Marner, Matthews, Nylander. And then as our second unit, Nick Robertson, Nikita Gurbenkin, Alex Nylander, Ekman-Larsson, and Morgan Rielly. So those are your lineups for tonight's Leafs team. As for what we've got in net here tonight, we are going to get a Anthony Stolarz start. We're going to get an Arvid Soderblom start here likely between these two guys. Obviously, very much leaning towards Stolarz, but what I would say for those of you who might come after and say, oh my God, look at the goaltending for Chicago, don't be too surprised if Soderblom has a good game. Leafs history against these not so great teams and goalies that you traditionally say, hey, that guy's not that good, and we say, wow, we got goalied. Soderblom's actually been playing a little bit better lately, so watch out for him here tonight, and hopefully this Leafs team isn't going to struggle too much to solve Arvid Soderblom. That is your lineup projection. We are going to get to our best bet here, but just quickly, if you're watching this video now, and it is before 3 p.m. Eastern time, the sheet with Jeff Marek is about to make its debut. You're going to want to catch that. The sheet with Jeff Marek will be kicking off the first ever show, 3 p.m. Eastern time over on the Daily Faceoff YouTube channel. We're pulling Daily Faceoff stuff all the time, line combos, goaltenders, all of it is coming up here on the show. Why not head on over there and get all of your information that you need every single day over at the Daily Faceoff? Make sure to check that out. But that will be coming up at 3 p.m. Eastern time. So watch this and then head on over there right after. Let's get to our best bet for tonight. And I think we've got some winners here, ladies and gentlemen. Our best bet is brought to you by Bet365, proud partner of the Leafs Nation pregame and Leafs Nation After Dark. Open an account Bet365 today and bet on a huge range of markets. Use code NATION, N-A-T-I-O-N. That's code NATION, N-A-T-I-O-N. Whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365. All right, let's go over to Bet365. I have two best bets tonight, ladies and gentlemen. Two best bets for you. We are going to start. And by the way, for those wondering, we are up $22 on the season. We lost one the other day with an Austin Matthews bet, but I felt real good about it. Unfortunately, it does not get through cash for us. Just doesn't happen, but I feel confident about this one here tonight, and we're going to head on over to Bet365, click into the NHL section of things, and yes, we're going to go to Chicago, Toronto, 7:30, the Amazon highlight game tonight. We're going to player props. Let's start here. We're going to go with one that'll make you guys happy because you're going to sit there and look at this one and say, yes, I like this. This is the one. I feel confident in this. We're going to go to power play points. You're going to say, I want to cheer for this. I'm going to be happy if this happens. Matthew Knies to record a power play point at plus 330. Same logic that we've had over the last little while with Knies, and unfortunately in the game that he got injured the other day against Vegas, he's just a tough customer net front. You got 5 forwards. It's not necessarily like anything is going through him here, but what you see out of Knies and the way he plays the net front game is a strong physical player who gets in front, can tip pucks, can get rebounds. He can also just score. Like, he can score on the rush. He can score coming out of the corner. He can score shooting the puck. If you get a high slot, he can score there. So we're going to go a half unit, $50 on Matthew Knies plus 330, and that is going to profit, if it wins here tonight, $165. That's the first bet of the night. The second one, let's get to the disgusting one. Let's get to the one you guys are going to sit there. This is the one I think you guys were looking at. You guys all would have known, or I'm going to tell you right now, and you're going to go, yes, I didn't think about that. Makes sense. And that would be in the goal scorers department. Nobody wants this to happen. I want the Leafs to shut them out. But the goal scorer I'm looking at is Tyler Bertuzzi. It's as simple as this, really. Look, this is not like some over-the-top handicap or something that I'm looking at and saying, yep, this is a crazy number. We're getting a massive edge on this. No. Like, let's be realistic here, guys. Tyler Bertuzzi, anytime goal, plus 425. I don't think he like has any disdain for Toronto, but I would not be surprised if he didn't like love his time here. It was a little up and down. He goes to Chicago, playing with Bedard. You know Bedard's going to be buzzing on the big stage here tonight anyways. Like, he's going to have some juice. Don't you think Tyler Bertuzzi in a revenge spot capitalizes on this and is able to find the back of the net? Because I do. Like, I feel like this is the perfect spot for Bertuzzi to jump in here tonight and kind of say, F you, I was here. A lot of you guys wanted me out. There was people in my live shows coming in the chat after being like, get this guy out in the first couple of games. Like, what the? We were early on the jump. I thought he ended up being a great player here. I loved what he brought, but it was a weird relationship between him and the fans here, him and just kind of Sheldon Keefe and the whole situation. Like, it was just weird. I wouldn't be surprised if he didn't love it. I'm not saying that from like, I know this or anything like that, but coming back, being a little bit of a loose cannon, just absolutely firing with Connor Bedard as your winger, like, or as your line mate, excuse me. Yeah, I feel like this is a good spot for him to get on the board. So that is the other one. We're going to keep this one a little bit lighter in terms of the bet amount. We're going to go $25 at plus 425. Will profit us here tonight 106. So we got plus 425, Tyler Bertuzzi anytime goal, $25, profits 106. And then we've also got half unit, $50 on Matthew Knies, power play point plus 330. That will profit 165. That is all we've got for today. That's all we've got for our best bets and our game preview as well. Make sure if you guys know it, and if you don't already, you should know it. Black Friday is come and gone, but the Black Friday sale at Nation Network is still here. Whether you're repping the freshest designs or rocking the classics, this is your chance to snag all your favorites for 15% off. Big news as well, the brand new My City collection has dropped and is part of the sale along with other fresh gear you don't want to miss. This is your shot to grab the latest styles and the classics at unbeatable prices. Need the perfect gift for your favorite fan? Nation Gear has you covered. From hoodies to hats, make this holiday season legendary for the hockey lover in your life. It gets better. Spend over $200 as you see there on screen. We'll throw in free shipping. Don't wait on the sidelines too long. This deal is 1 week only. Shop now, only on nationgear.ca. Make sure to check that out. Thank you so much to everyone who tuned in here today. We appreciate it as always. That's it for the game preview. Make sure to head on over now after the fact. You watched this one already. You know what you're looking for. The Sheet with Jeff Merrick coming up 3 p.m. Eastern time for the first ever episode as part of the Nation Network. Thank you all for tuning in here. Drop your comments below. Who's winning? What's the score? Who's scoring? I want to hear it. Can't wait to hear from you guys. Can't wait to hear about what your thoughts are on this game in another edition of the Leafs Nation After Dark following tonight's game. Thanks so much, as always, for tuning in. Keep believing. For more content just like this, including game previews, post-game live shows, Leafs Morning Take Monday through Friday with Nick Alberga and Jay Rosehill with special guests, as well as instant reaction videos. Make sure to be subscribed here to the Leafs Nation YouTube channel. Turn on notifications so you don't miss anything, and drop a like.